Hey guys, it's me again. So it is, I'm Muppet Supreme. If you haven't seen my videos before, that's because there aren't that many videos, so there, there are two. If you want to go check them out, go ahead and check out the rest of the channel. You might want to look at that before you look at this, just get an idea of kind of what's going on. Really quickly, before we get started, there's always housekeeping, right? So I'm just going to remind you guys that, what was it? Yeah, right. Discord, there's one of those. I'm going to have a link for that in the description below. There's also my Twitch channel. I stream 5 days a week, so be sure and come check that out. I really appreciate it. That's a lot of fun. I really enjoy hanging out with you guys. So today I'm doing the second part of a series that I'm trying to start wherein I'm trying to give the perspective of a small streamer. And what's funny about this is likely no one will ever see this until well after it's all kind of irrelevant, but that's the irony of the situation, and I'm living with it. It is what it is, and I can't change it. Regardless, I'm recording this because today I want to talk about something that people kind of touch on here and there. I mean, people talk about mental health for streamers, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a bit of a bizarre job because you're in the public sphere and this kind of thing, but at the same time, it seems like there has been, at least in the past, and this is starting to change, but there's been sort of a taboo of talking about like a public figure's mental health or psychological health or whatever. So that being said, I'm gonna do something kind of similar, but today I want to talk about off days. Because boy, they happen. Off days as a streamer are a really weird thing because there's a lot of pressure to perform. There's a lot of feeling that you need to be doing the best you can. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't, right? To be clear, I do think you should be doing the best you can, obviously. However, off days happen. So I don't have like a huge plan for discussing this topic. It's just that I basically want to say a few things kind of related to how to handle that. Because if you're like me, then you're probably going to beat yourself up about it, and you're going to say, I've messed up. I wasn't doing well today in this, that, the other. Maybe I wasn't as interactive with chat as I wanted to be, or maybe my gameplay was off, or I felt like my commentary was trash for some reason. Sometimes it's all of those things combined. You never really know exactly what's going to happen. It's a live stream, so there's a decent chance that you just end up doing something and then almost instantaneously regretting it. Part of the reason that I'm bringing this up specifically is the other day I was streaming, and I don't feel like things went too poorly, but at the same time I felt really, really bad about it because I actually ended up feeling really, really sick during my stream and had to quit. I had to call it early, and I'd only been streaming after about 2.5 hours. I usually try and do somewhere between 4 and 5 hours, and I was feeling sick, and I couldn't figure out what was going on, and I just wasn't having fun, and I said, you know what, I hate this, I feel like I'm letting all of you down, but I have to just call it here and go do something else and try and figure out, what's wrong with me and take care of my body and this kind of thing. It turns out that I hadn't eaten anything but peanut butter for about 24 hours, which may well have triggered that whole issue. I'm not really sure, but it seems like it certainly could have played a factor. So proper nutrition is important. That always plays into this. Do make sure you eat properly, please. I guess that could be a sub point. I'm going to make that a sub point. Sub point, take care of your body, because I know those of us who do streaming and whatever are inclined to maybe not. So take care of yourself. Don't die. Dying is bad. Back to the primary point. Off days are going to happen, right? I felt really terrible about it. I know I was really beating myself up for it for like several hours, thinking, I let them down. I was not there. I was not, as enthusiastic as I normally am. I wasn't my normal self. I wasn't, producing the kind of environment that I want to produce. Here's the thing though, and this is the reason I want to talk about this, is just to say, take care of yourself. Okay? You're not gonna be perfect all the time. Streaming is hard. There's a lot of things that you have to focus on at once. Sometimes you're not going to be up to the task, okay? Now, I also want to caution you against not doing it when you should, right? If you're just kind of, you should probably still give it a shot if you can. But if you can't make it through, if for some reason there's something that's like blocking you, if you're feeling ill, or if you've, got some kind of psychological thing that you're dealing with, just take care of it. Okay? Just take care of it. Don't feel bad about doing what needs to be done. Don't feel bad, because this happens to everybody. You need to make sure you're taking care of yourself, because if nothing else, and this is, I guess, the biggest reason that I'm addressing this topic, is you can't provide what you want to provide as a content creator unless you're functional. So take care of yourself, be functional, hydrate or dihydrate, try and sleep, give it a try, right? Eat properly. I'm fairly certain that was my mistake, was I was not eating well. I'm fairly good about the hydrate or dihydrate thing. I don't sleep as much as I should, but it's not terrible. And meanwhile, my eating habits were really trash for a few days, and I reaped the consequences of that. Off days happen. I think we all recognize that. I think we all have to get used to that. However, it's, I think, equally important to note that on days happen. Now, it's kind of irritating to me that that's not a phrase. I think it should be, and I'm starting it right now. On days happen too. That's one of the neat things about this, is it is a bit of a roller coaster. That's part of the cool thing about the job, is as much as the off days happen, the on days happen too. So if you're in one of those moments where you feel like your commentary has just been trash, or you feel like the viewership has been down, or you feel like maybe you just weren't up to par for some reason, or maybe even it's just something completely extraneous that is, you feel like it's affecting your content or your mood or whatever, and you're not performing as well as you want to be, don't forget, on days happen too, just as much as the off days. I know it doesn't seem like it. A lot of times, for me at least, I ignore the on days, which I shouldn't. I should appreciate that and take the time to, just appreciate it and say, hey, this is great. This is going well. It's going great. So don't forget about that, because that is one of that's how you're going to balance it out. That's how you're going to balance out the off days, is remembering that the on days are just as important, are actually more important, because they show that, sometimes things just happen. And it's okay. And piece by piece, you're going to work and work and work, and the on days will start coming more and more frequently. You'll get into a routine. You'll get into something that feels better. It takes time. Believe me, I'm learning that. It takes time. I don't have it all together. I don't pretend to. But yeah, don't forget about the on days. They're just as important. I'm going to wrap it up here. This is going to be kind of a short video, but my point is, take care of yourself, be that physically, mentally, whatever. Make sure that you are in top form, because if you're not, you will not be able to provide the right... My neighbor is a wonderful person. Anyway, if you're not at least like semi-functional, you're not going to be able to provide the right kind of content. You're not going to be able to take care of yourself, take care of your stream, take care of your chat, take care of everything that you're trying to do. You've got too much on your plate, so make sure you're functioning first, then deal with everything else, right? That's how that has to go. I know I hate it. It's something that I have to accept, and so for today, that is my things that I've learned is off days happen. A lot of times they happen because I did something silly. Sometimes it's just because life is rough. I get that, especially at this time. I get that. Life has been kicking me around a fair bit too. I totally understand. But take care of yourself, and then you'll be able to handle everything else with a little bit more, at least you'll be ready for it on some level, as opposed to feeling like you're just constantly behind if you've not sort of kept yourself up first. So that's really all I have to say about that. So once again, another plug. I have Discord. You can join that. You can come hang out with me. You can talk about your off days. You can, whatever. I would be happy to help. I would be fine if you guys want to discuss this, if you guys are starting out, if you're new streamers, whatever. I would love to discuss this with you guys, try and give you my tips and tricks for making it through the days where I'm kind of going, I don't know if I can make it. I don't know if I can make something that they'll actually want to watch, that people will want to see. Those days happen. I get it. If you want to chat about that, come hang out in the Discord. We can do that. Or you can come hang out with me on stream. I'm going to have my Twitch right here. I do a lovely motion graphic, and I'm very proud of it. I'm very new at this, but I'm very proud of that little motion graphic anyway. So, yeah, that's all I have to say, guys. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope to see you again. This has been the Supremely Muppet.